Hello, here is a useful tip for geometry nodes. I will show you how to set up a select linked island node, which is also included in my HNode add-on. If you want to check it out, link is in the description. So what does this node actually do? Well, it's pretty much the same as the select linked option in the edit mode. You input a selection and the output is a selection of the whole island. So to create this node, you only need 3 nodes: the mesh islands, accumulate field, and the compare node. The magic node here is the accumulate field node. I like to think of this node as a counter. The increment it counts at is the value here, and it resets its counter for every group ID. So if we set it on point and integer, it will count the value x for every point following the index, resetting for every group ID. Let's plug to the group ID the island index to reset the counter per every island. And as you can see, this node has 3 outputs. The third output gives us the sum of all the counting per group ID, which means that if even one of the inputs are true, they all are for this specific group ID. Now just to cap the selection, let's plug the total to the compare node we set earlier, set it on integer greater than 0. The compare node just states that if more than 0 of the selected ID is true, make it 1, or make it true. So now where do we plug our selection? For this example, I will use a random selection. I will set it to Boolean to give us randomly true or false. Now if I plug the selection to the value and view the compare node, you can see our node setup is working. 2 more tips for this setup. I recommend to make a node group out of it. So now you can go to the end panel and change the group type. Instead of being an integer, set the input to be a boolean. And you can actually change the group ID to be something like a spline index to do the same thing for splines and curves or any other thing. I really hope it was useful, and I see you next time.